Hello, friends. Welcome to Nirmal Bang. I'm Piyush Jain, and today we are bringing to you a new company which is planning to get listed on the bourses. There is an IPO coming up. This is into financial services. Of late, we have seen again over the last many quarters, the financial services sector continues to create a lot of wealth for the shareholders. We also actually are seeing extremely high weightage from the index perspective if you're following index, from a large consuming population, also from the large requirement in terms of credit, both from SMEs, MSMEs, large companies. Financial services actually forms the backbone of the economy. And from that context, whenever an IPO comes from financial service sector, it is imperative that actually it becomes of very high interest for the investors. So without further ado, let me now welcome the management here, the MD and CEO of Utkarsh Small Finance Bank, Mr. Govind Singh, and
Hi.
also Mr. Sarju, the
Hello.
CFO of the company. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, Govindji, first of all, let me come to you. And before we talk about the IPO numbers, let's first start and understand the journey of the company from where you started and now actually planning to become a listed company. How has been the journey and why this thought of becoming a listed company came?
Okay. So we as an NBFC MFI started our journey in 2009, September 2009 to be precise. So it's almost now 14 years journey. And I moved to Varanasi to set up NBFC MFI at the time. And the idea was, that area is financially excluded. Not many financial services companies, even microfinance companies were there in that area. UP, Bihar, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh in that area. And so we had a very small beginning, from Varanasi. Gradually, we started in other geographies like other districts of Eastern UP. We went to Bihar, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, later on Odisha, Uttarakhand, Haryana, some pockets of Rajasthan. So that is how we, cater to that geography. And it has really done. We have really done well in terms of, overall expansion during this period, getting some of the finest people who have worked with us, getting some of the finest board members, and getting some of the best, investors possible who are patient, long-term investors, and we want to have impact, and who are focused on the impact part. So it has been a very satisfying and wonderful journey from that perspective. Our aim has been to create a real real. I'll use our world-class bank out of Varanasi, and this journey is towards that. 6 years back, when Reserve Bank of India came with new guidelines on small finance bank, there were 72 applicants who had applied for. 10 out of them got the license. Very two important things about Utkarsh is that we are the youngest one in terms of vintage to got the license. That is one part. And second, we are the only player from that geography. And today also, we are the only scheduled commercial bank who has headquarters in adjoining states of UP, Bihar, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, and Odisha. There is one bank out of Noida, but I think from our practical purpose, it is NCR. So I'm just excluding that bank for the time being.
So and it has and also, sir, that region has a legacy in itself. In fact, everybody knows like how that region is special from the Prime Minister perspective, and also how basically it has been really doing well.
That's true. So one is the microfinance financial inclusion, the type of products and services we have offered, and we have gone interior. It's not that we are in the large cities and large towns only in UP and Bihar. We have gone in the deep interior so that we can actually go to the people who need it. So it's a both requirement as well as opportunity for us. I think that is how we have looked at this, whole journey of last 14 years now.
Sure. Let's do some fact finding here, and then we'll go to Mr. Sarju. The IPO basically is opening on July 12th, is going to close on July 14. We're talking about a 500 crore size IPO. Fair to say again, this is basically a sort of large IPO, and from financial services sector, perhaps it's going to give a lot of opportunities, both to institutions and to retail investors. On July 24, basically is expected the stock will start trading on the exchanges. So now, and we're talking about the price band, which is between 23 and 25. And this price band is usually very light and very much sort of attractive to retail investors. The price, in fact, the price individual itself is going to sound very attractive. But Mr. Sarju, coming back to you, 500 crore IPO, that's a significant amount of money. From a lender perspective, it really gives you a sort of leverage power to sort of look in terms of business. But then the question comes, this amount of fundraising is going to be sort of sufficient for what amount of time, like after how much growth, you'll have to again look at the fundraising again? And secondly, within this 500 crores, is there any sort of breakup? It's all going into the company, or any sort of breakup is also there?
So I'll answer your second question first. This is all going into Tier 1 growth capital. It's purely meant to grow the business. And as far as your capital adequacy ratio is concerned, as you know, we are at 20.64%. As we grow, we'll consume the capital. So we will need this capital to maintain our capital adequacy ratio upward 20%. It looks that this capital will serve us for about, say, 18 to 24 months. We will obviously come back as we grow our base and our businesses.
Right. And from the perspective of strategy, Mr. Sarju, where actually the company is now looking to really pump in the money to expand. And when we say expand, it is about fulfilling the demand in the existing territories, existing markets for the company, or you're also looking to sort of open new branches or open new markets for yourself?
So let me answer that right now we are into geographies of UP, Bihar, and Jharkhand. We see that about 27 to 28% population lies there, and credit share of all India is just 5%. So we see a tremendous opportunity to more penetrate in the same geographies. But at the same time, we'll be looking for deposits as to growth as a pan-India as well.
Right. So from the deposit strategy, like what is sort of omni-channel strategy you're following?
So we have two sets of branches. One is micro banking, which is pure micro banking led business vertical, and we have a general banking branches, which is semi-urban, and we look at senior citizen, middle class, elite class to garner deposits. That we about have 110 branches that we have created over last 2 years. We see that more action will happen in our deposits through these new branches that we have set up.
Right. Govindji, coming to you, from a bank perspective, UP is a massively growing state right now. There's like huge opportunity for MSMEs, SMEs, and associated lending demand. Is UP something which was a conscious strategy, and is it also a conscious strategy to really not expand very fast in other markets? I'm asking from the perspective of all investors who would be looking at the IPO, and they normally like a very focused strategy. So is it a very conscious strategy to work first on the strength in a concentrated market?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. As I mentioned, when we started our operation in 2009, we were very focused that Eastern UP and Bihar will be our core geography. And and then once we are able to penetrate in this area, I mean, I'll not use the saturated, but we reach a certain mass, then we move to other states, in fact. And if you also see, our strategy was a contiguous growth. So from UP, Bihar, we went to Jharkhand, we went to Madhya Pradesh. From Madhya Pradesh, Jabalpur, we entered to Nagpur, Vidarbha, Maharashtra. So it's a contiguous also. That was a well thought strategy. Similarly, after becoming bank, initially whatever we do is start from this core geography. We understand the local environment, culture, the financial you can say numbers and other thing very well from this geography. Once you are able to see that yes, we have a good understanding, then we normally move to other geographies as well. So I think this UP, Bihar, and that entire belt will be our first. Whenever we go for a new product or new services, I think we normally start from that area only and then move to other places. Ultimately, we look at that will be only a player, but with focus in some of the pockets like MSME, joint liability group, the middle and lower segment of society, affordable housing, wheels. So these are some of the focus area for us. We will not be all over the places. Some focus area in terms of geography and product certainly will be our focused area. As a small finance bank, also it's important that we understand the niche area which we are catering to. I can't be anywhere and everywhere. And you rightly mentioned that UP and some of the other geographies are growing very well for some years now, and that is also giving a tailwind to us. We are getting a good advantages because of that, and that I think that again will continue for foreseeable future. That's our assessment.
Right, and let me now ask Mr. Sarju one of my favorite questions, because I always try to make it very simple for our viewers. Mr. Sarju, money is the raw material for a bank. So what is the normal average cost of funds for you? And do you believe that after becoming listed, perhaps this would create a positive impact for you? And also, what is the average credit spread which you have been working on?
All right. We have a credit spread of about 13%. Our portfolio yield is 19.88. and our cost of funds is 6.96. The difference is 12.92, as I told you. And we are clearly looking at this, investing this funds for growth as we go along. While we may have a slow and steady expansion on our branches, but we do focus on our productivity and transformation in terms of technology to get the last mile advantage and be there ahead of others in the peer set.
But just to supplement what Sarju just mentioned, I think this will also, give us some advantage in terms of our cost coming down. So that is what generally happens. Recent or rating upgrade also. So that helps us. Once you are a public listed company, the trust factor and the visibility of the institute also goes up. So I think, when we look at our future, we can't give any statement about future, but it should generally be, better in terms of visibility, in terms of trust factor. Certainly that will also play a big role when we talk about our future.
Absolutely, and also ease of fundraising, which again, as I said, is a raw material again for the growth here. But one point, just for a clarity, are we saying that your average NIM's average spread, you are sort of targeting around 5.5% to 6%? Is that something which I should take home?
So for last year, if you look at it, it is in the range of 9.5%. In fact, because of So it and you must have seen that the type of portfolio we create, the type of segments we deal with. I can't again talk about how it should be looking like in future, but we have seen this trajectory, other than challenging period like COVID, otherwise it has been there. So, the trajectory, I'll use the word, should remain on the same lines, because our products and services, we are going to expand the same product and services where, we have been doing for quite some time now. So trajectory should be in similar lines going forward also.
Right. And one more small question, Govindji, coming to you. From a bank perspective, from Utkarsh perspective, what is the sort of sweet spot in terms of customer profiles for you? You have given some color in your previous answers, but there are a lot of customer profiles. There are SMEs, there are MSMEs. There are particular sort of segments within those SMEs. You might be comfortable in retail, or you might be comfortable in sort of microfinancing. What is the strength of Utkarsh in terms of customer profiles?
So if you look at the customer profile, I think middle and lower segment of society, or the startup has been our focus area, and that is where we have the expertise. So it's not that we don't do larger ticket size loans or so. We do some cases, maybe around 10% of portfolio is larger ticket size also. But most of our portfolio lies, where we are able to, you can say, 15, 20,000, 25,000 rupees till 25, 30 lakh, 50 lakh, that is the bracket where we do most of our transaction, most of our lending. And that remains our sweet spot. There we have, one is geography helps us, and also our understanding of those products is really superior than, I'll use the word, most of the players who are there.
Right. And a word, as we move towards the closure of the conversation, a word on the technology, what is unique, or I would say any sort of competitive advantage which you're commanding on traditional lenders, or very old sort of traditional lenders? Is there any sort of technology uniqueness?
Yeah. So two aspects. One is
please. Please.
Sorry. Yeah. So in terms of technology, we have, all these SFBs came with you can say, best of the technology, because they don't have any legacy sort of. And we also talk of any technology, in terms of account onboarding, eKYC, any internet banking, mobile banking, name it. I think these are there. UPI. In fact, we're the first one to launch among SFB the UPI Lite also. So I think these are already there. What is added advantage? What we are seeing, two aspects. One is that, because of this jam trinity, I think we are getting a lot of advantage in the rural area. The cost of operations is expected to come down. Each of business or reaching out to these people is becoming easier than what it was, say, 10 years back, 15 years back, because of that growth. The infrastructure is certainly improving, the digital as well as physical infrastructure. So that, I think, giving all the advantages to us. So I think we are seeing that is already happening, and that should also augur well for future also. Having said so, technology is really fast changing. We engaged KPMG and PwC around a year back, just so that we are never behind, we are never lagging behind. So they have given a lot of inputs, and it's a continuous engagement, so that, we are always future ready, and we are, and you must have seen in technology, things are obsolete in 2 to 3 years time. In fact, that is how fast things are happening. So that team along with our team is helping us. We call it transformation project. So we are working on a regular basis so that we are never lagging behind. We may be good, but if you don't look into that investment or that on regular basis, you may be behind, in no time. So we are conscious about that part also. While we have good infrastructure, good technology, so that ongoing it should remain there. Those are the efforts right now.
Mr. Govind, just one question, and I would say that I was pleasantly surprised because that was my next question, and you already almost more than half answered it. In our research language, we call it as a mode trend. So, what is the sort of unique or competitive advantage you have? Then, what is the sort of trend you are heading towards? So, one small question, just to add to what you were saying, is that from the perspective of when you say technology and the overall jam trinity and the cost of business is coming down. Is that something sort of where the sort of barrier to entry is also coming down, apart from the RBI license, which is a big barrier? But the sort of small time lenders, is that something also which is helping them in bringing cost of funding down, or largely the difference is too large between them and you?
I'll go by second one. I think so. Again, I don't have any analysis per se, but my sense or my assessment is that it is the gap is too large. I think banking platform itself gives a big advantage in terms of you can have low cost deposits. You can approach people for all type of products, which may not be the cases with the other people. So I think banking platform, and then when we have a headquarter in such a geography, I think these two are giving advantage to us, and we think that that will that will be of immense value to us in future also.
Well, Govindji and Sarjuji, I think from our side, thanks a lot for coming on our show. All the best for your IPO. It's a financial services IPO, which is always a very exciting development for the investors and viewers. And we would say, I think there are a couple of counts. The price band looks very interesting. From a business perspective, perhaps the journey is going to be very long. The geographies actually are growing. So a lot of things, I think, for our viewers to really track for. But overall, I would once again say thanks a lot and best wishes to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And with that, dear viewers, hope you enjoyed this show. It's a wrap for now.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon to never miss an update from Nirmal Bang.